And we're live.
And we're live. Okay, let me
You're
just
live.
just try to finish off the last of what I'm doing here. Hold on.
Good morning, everyone. It is
Ah.
October 4th, 2024, and this is the Rage
Ah.
Into the Vlogs. It is Friday.
And it's October already.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me just save my file here because now it's like, hold on. Yeah, I am just like working like crazy in Clip Studio right now. I swear, I swear it's like if only I was as if only I could like get a Clip Studio sponsorship, because Jesus Christ, this program is literally is a game changer for me.
It changed my life.
It really did. It really did. All I had, it's like I only had the stupid shit for 5 years. And only like in the last like 7 months did I realize the potential of this program.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
But
my
that's
God.
awesome.
Huh?
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, it is, because it's like just being able to ink and color at the same time. It's just like, oh, I can do this.
Are you ready to do this?
No, absolutely not. But hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
Yeah. Good morning.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, Nita. Oh my goodness. It's like it's just a little hard to kind of like transition from one work to the other.
Right? And then the StreamYard updates are so throwing me off. Like, even though it's mostly a color scheme, there's something new in the brand folders too.
Right.
But I don't want to try it during a live that's not a test run.
Yeah,
Because
really?
I don't want to kick us out of here. Yeah, like if you open the brand folders and scroll down above video clips, we can auto update the intros and outros now.
Oh yeah, I tried that on my Wednesday show and it works like a charm.
Okay, but do we have that like couple minutes to talk before? Can we select when it starts, or does it auto play when we
No, it
come?
auto plays. Well, the outro, we see, yeah, because the intro, it plays the intro and the outro, they play the second you hit the button. So the second you hit go live, the outro immediately plays. I mean, the intro.
I'm never ready when I hit go live. I'm still fidgeting with my shit.
With the outro, what I liked about it was that the second you hit end stream, it plays the outro. So it's like, you know how sometimes we kind of like try to guess how quickly like it'll right. So especially on my Wednesday stream, I have a very, very short clip. So I put that as my outro. You know, it's Sam the Eagle going, "You all weirdos," you know.
Right.
And I put that as my outro, and it just like I hit end stream, it automatically plays it in its entirety, and then it logs, and then it's like it shuts off the stream. So it was just like, for the outro, it was brilliant. For the intro, I mean, for my Wednesday stream, it worked really well. But you could also like if you wanted to cut it short, you could do that, you know, on the intro. It was very convenient. I liked it. I liked of all the updates so far.
Instead of the updates, though, I wish they'd slow down the updating and get us back on our fucking Facebook pages and groups.
Well, I know, right? That's you know, but hey, it's like before we forget. So who's joining us in the chat today?
I gotta get back to the chat. I got
Right. Oh,
interested
yeah.
in
We have to
sidetracked
find
a
everything.
little.
Yeah. We have to find everything now.
Here we go. Here we go. Joseph
Right.
and
It's like,
Melissa.
hello,
Good morning.
Joseph. Hello, Joseph. Hello. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from LinkedIn, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Keep Joseph and Melissa company. And while you're at it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Yeah, also it's like I wear this is my compression glove that I'm using to work on my tablet. I usually have like the regular one, but I don't know, it's like this glove is mostly for arthritis, and it's just like very cozy for the amount of work that I've been doing lately, so that's why I have this on. Also because I was working just as we were coming here. So I'll explain that in a minute.
You're making a fashion statement.
I know, right? Really. Hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
I have anxiety. That means I'm in my shell and have a hard time expressing myself. I find it difficult to engage with others. So everyone shut the up because my anxiety is up here right now.
So that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite clip. I swear. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter on October 28th with the new trade paperback, Volume 1 of Tears of the Mother, which collects issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter early 2025. And you can now read for free on Webtoons. It updates every Tuesday. And you can also read Tall Tales on Webtoons as well. Eagle Raven updates every Tuesday and Tall Tales on Thursdays. And you can also read both my comics online at eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
My name is Nita. I have a Google account. It runs the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. You can find it at indiecomicsnetwork.com, where we try to bring you daily comic-centered stuff.
Yeah, we try to. We don't always succeed, but we try.
We're not always successful.
Right. You know, but when we try to.
Semi-professional.
Yes. And where can you find Indie Comics Network?
IndieComicsNetwork.com.
It's .com. Cut.
Oh, so you had an outing. So you actually went on an outing. You know,
we
so
did.
How was it? So how was it?
It was okay. Well, actually, it was a disaster because we had a mix up with the rental car at first. Only the beginning, but we finally got everything taken care of, and we took the kids and we went to New Orleans, and we walked around the river walk and just went to Cafe Du Monde, stuff like New Orleans stuff. We ate at Denny's of all fucking places.
Well, hey.
Yeah, we're in New Orleans. We're gonna eat at Denny's, but whatever. But basically, I was going down there to scope out ideas for different things to do, like the riverboat rides, the aquarium, and everything, and check that out, and make some plans for some short day trips just to get out and away.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's always good. That's always good.
Need to touch grass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's true, especially since we never made it to the aquarium when you were here. So
right.
So next time. But so how far is New Orleans from you? By car?
About an hour. Right. About an hour and 10, 15 minutes.
By car?
To get into the city. Yeah, but once you get into the city, it's like
right.
It slows down a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of like driving into Manhattan. Only crazy people drive in Manhattan. But then again, it's like if you had a transit system like we do,
we do not. In fact, we can't even get it together. Like New Orleans, the majority of places are handicap accessible, but they're not handicap convenient by any means.
That
Like
is
it was,
always weird. Like
we really struggled with like the
Right.
wheelchair a few times for my mother-in-law.
Right.
In a couple places, or you have to go like way out of the freaking way to come back to one little place. And it's like, man, all you had to do was have a little 4-foot ramp right next to these stairs or some shit.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah, that's like those memes that I see sometimes where it's like, yeah, the place is handicap accessible, but you have to climb 7 flight of stairs to get to.
Right. And they're not clearly marked. Like when you first get to the Riverwalk, we didn't realize there was actually a ramp, but it was further down and hidden behind some bushes.
Right.
So we actually had to help her get up and stand her up out of her chair and step up on a lip to get on to the other part, to the accessible ramp to get onto the Riverwalk.
Right.
But
it's accessible
we
in
had
theory.
a good time. I mean, it was just family stuff.
Well,
I posted a picture of my kids. Somebody said they look just like me with their emoji faces.
Oh, well, hey. Oh my goodness. So that's good though. That's good. Yeah, it's good to go outside. It's good to go outside. Which I recommend for everybody to do.
Touch grass.
Yeah, go touch grass, really. Because it's like I don't know, like yesterday, I don't know, I ended up on somebody's feed and they had a lot of postings about stuff that's happening, everything that's happening in the Middle East and whatnot. And it's like, and it just is like going, holy shit, what a privileged life we have. We really, even at our worst, it's like we really do lead a charmed life, that we could just like sit down and bitch about comic books. And that's like the worst of our issues, And it's like, it just like in that like couple of minutes, it's just like, I just had like, that kind of like, like that perspective. It's like, yeah, you know what? Let's go outside. It's like, yeah, we need to go outside because at least we can go outside, and then come back and bitch about comic books, I mean, really, it's like sometimes I think we forget, just what we have. And then it's like, it makes, yes, it is a luxury. And it's like, and then it's like to see people like, doing something like bitching about comic books. It's like, really? Like, hello, I'm afraid. But hey, it's like, but that's kind of where we're at, right? So let's all be thankful for this moment, But I guess to kind of like awkwardly segue comic book news, right? I'm a little surprised that not a lot of people are really talking about the whole Marvel DC trademark.
They really didn't. They really didn't on the word superhero.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Marvel and DC actually lost their trademark to the word superhero. This was a trademark that I think they had that they had jointly since 1967. And they've been using it to squash competition since. And and I only know of 2 other people who were granted the right to use the word superhero during this time. One is some business guy in Canada, and 2 is somebody that we know. Actually, I think they're more friends with Sam and George, Ray Felix. That he was also years ago in a lawsuit, a 4-year lawsuit with Marvel and DC over the trademark of the word superhero, because he runs a convention called Bronx Comic Con, and he had a comic book called A World Without Superheroes or something like that, right? And he got sued. So he countersued, saying that they had no right to trademark the word from the very beginning. And his attorney had said that, if you had 50 grand more, you could have broken the lawsuit. but he didn't have 50 grand more. So instead, because his lawsuit did have merit, Marvel and DC quietly gave him permission to use the word superhero if he dropped the case, which he did. So it was him. So it was Marvel, DC, Ray Felix, and some Canadian guy. But some British guy decided he was going to finish the job.
Nobody put super babies in the corner.
Super babies. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that is. You know, it's like, it's just that he was going to do something called
a
super
superhero.
Babies, right? And Marvel and DC sued him, and he goes, fuck you. Why, that is some cheeky shit. You know? So, and he won the trademark. I guess it's like, yeah, it's like, so I guess it's like the trademark, US Trademark Office pulled the trademark from Marvel and DC, saying that they had no right to own those words because it's a genre, not, you know, it's kind of like the whole Omegaverse lawsuit. It's very similar to that. An author tried. Omegaverse is a. How do I explain this? Omegaverse is a genre of fanfic that originated from supernatural fandom.
Y'all about to be educated today.
Actually, no, not today. You know what? Google up Omegaverse. Yeah. So, let's just say it's a lot of werewolf knots and Mpreg. You know, it's like, yeah, from supernatural. Look, I don't know how they made that connection between supernatural fandom and werewolf fucking, but somehow
it happened,
right? And it became an incredibly popular genre in fanfic circles, which then jumped into traditional publishing. And an author tried to trademark the word Omegaverse because as much as we as creators benefit from copyright and trademark law in terms of protecting our creations, it can be in corporate hands. It can be very easily abused as a bludgeon to keep competition down.
Yes.
And this is not so somebody tried to trademark Omegaverse. They lost. They had their trademark registration rescinded because you cannot trademark a genre, because in the end that's what it is. Right. So yeah, also that there was another case in Romantasy. I forgot what the word was. It was a very common word at the time that was used in titles for a certain genre.
Was it court? Because I swear everything's a court.
It was cocky. The word cocky. An author tried to trademark the word cocky because I guess that word was, you know, the cocky bartender, the cocky whatever. You know, like it was a very common word at the time. So she tried to trademark it, and then the first thing she did was she went after all her competition for trademark infringement. And I think she had her trademark rescinded as well. So in the end, that's what Marvel and DC were doing with the word, that it's like it had, you know, they were just using it to make sure that nobody could come into their circle. But Sam, so I was listening to Sam and George the other day on Catch the Crazies, and Sam was actually saying something that I don't, but then again, I haven't really looked into it, but it sounds plausible, so I'm pretty sure it must be, was that Marvel itself did not, you know, they wanted to fight the lawsuit. They wanted to fight it. They didn't want to lose the trademark, but it was Disney that made them that said, no, we're not fighting this. It's like, you assholes how much money are we spending fighting every 2-bit publisher who wants to use the word superhero, you know? And the lawyers, they get paid whether it's a big lawsuit or a small lawsuit, so it doesn't matter. So it's like, you know, how many millions of dollars are we wasting on litigation because you're suing every Tom, Dick, and Harry who wants to use the word superhero in their comic.
Right.
So supposedly, allegedly, that's the reason why they decided not to fight it in the end. Or they didn't fight as hard as they would have. So when Marvel lost the trademark, I guess subsequently DC lost the trademark because it's like, well, you can't, it's like, look, you just can't trademark.
They want to fight it alone.
They didn't, right.
Right.
Well, no, because it's like it was a joint trademark, so I guess the whole thing got pulled. Mind you, I don't know any of like the real details of this. It's just what I've been hearing. I've just been a little surprised that you would think that that a major blow like this to those two publishers would have gotten a little bit more press. I mean, I'm sure some people have talked about it, but like not in the way like when Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh went into public
domain, right?
But it was like every asshole wanted to do a Steamboat Willie, Winnie the Pooh vampire hunter shit. I mean, it's like, Steve, first time joining you. Just wanted to say, enjoy everything. I wish I could stay longer. Keep pushing that crayon. You bet. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Hey, Steve. Narc lawyers. They all are. She's specific. Melissa. Oh, you know about this. She specifically claimed to be the original of the hetero non-con Omegaverse, and I'm not sure why you want to be known for non-con anything. For anybody you don't know, non-con is short for non-consensual.
Yikes.
Non-consensual, dubious, consensual. And yeah, I don't know why I know why. It's like, because it's like she wanted to corner the market, and she thought that this would be the way to block competition. From, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. And obviously the copyright and trademark offices agree. So there you go. So you can use superhero and you can use Omegaverse. Now you can make cocky Omegaverse superheroes. And not have to worry about anything. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah. But yeah, it's like I was just surprised that not more people were talking about it.
Right.
Because like I said, when Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh, like they went into public domain,
everywhere.
It was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. Mm-hmm. It's like Marvel and DC lose pretty much a major trademark battle, and everyone's like, yeah, who cares? And it's like, oh, okay. Oh, that was weird. All right.
I saw it like Melissa said, it's already out there. I saw it like on 2 or 3 posts.
Right.
And considering the amount of posts I see,
right.
I was like, wow, nobody's really mentioning this.
Right. Because even Ray Felix, he just posted up a thing that pretty much amounted to, I told you so. And then pretty much left it at that, So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes with comic book fandom, it just seems like I'm being gaslit most of the time, where something seems important and then it's like, no, it's not. Oh, okay.
Oh, sure.
Right. Oh, all right. Oh.
You imagined it's important,
right? Yeah, I guess. I guess
we've been yelling about it for 15 years, but that was all in your head,
right? Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the feeling that I had when they first made Jane Foster Thor, and the gnashing of teeth. Online. No, not Thor. She's not Thor. It's like, this sucks, and this, that, and the other thing, and this, that, and the other thing, right? And it was just like, it just seemed like an endless stream. I think that series went for like a year and a half or something, and it's just an endless stream of like people really butthurt over is her name Jane Foster? I don't know. I don't really care that much. But it's like
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and it's like it just seemed like for a year and a half, it was just like, you know, it's like, oh, you see, this is, you know, women ruining comics and this, that, and the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. And then
women with their woke nonsense.
Right, yeah. And then like Thor Ragnarok came out with Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder.
Right.
And then all I was hearing when that was announced that they were going to put Jane Foster Thor in there, it's like, oh, it better be accurate to the comic. And I'm like, you know, it's like, I'm kind of like that gif. It's like, oh, wait, what? 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 You know, it's like, you assholes just spent a year and a half bitching about that book, and now the movie's coming out.
Now it better be canon.
Now it better be canon. Now you better go buy the comic. You know what? You know, it's like, oh, that never stops them. HR, that never stops them.
Never stops them.
You know, and it's like, wait, what? So that's what I mean. That sometimes it just feels like comics fandom is very gaslighty.
It's weird. It's very, very weird.
It's very weird. You know, which in the end, it's like, it's like, you know what? I'm lucky I care this much to even mention it. Because it's like, you know, this is why I stay in indie comics. And even then I just stay in my corner like this opossum that was fighting off some cats in my backyard last night. It was the most horrible noises I've ever heard. So, you know, it's like, you know, so Captain jumps on his little thing here to stare out the window like it was fucking pay-per-view night. You know?
Oh my gosh.
So it's like this fat ass opossum. So we have this gate, right, which has this little wall that has like a gap like this between that wall that holds up my gate and I guess the house next to us, right? And right in that gap, something was going on, because I just saw this opossum butt sticking out from the wall. Like, for some reason, he wouldn't come out into the backyard all the way. So he would just stay with his ass out into our yard and then like the rest of his body inside that gap. And he was just like, he was busy. He was busy. He was fighting something. Like hissing things, right? He was doing possum things. And I guess what I could figure out is that some cats had him cornered. You know, like the street cats had him cornered. But you know how cats are. They just sit there and stare.
Right.
You know? So I think, yeah, people are still mad about Falcon becoming Captain America, but cheered when Dick Grayson became Batman.
People be mad about everything.
Right. I don't know. There seems to be something I can't quite put my finger on in those two analogies, in those two comparisons. I don't know. There was something a little different. I just can't figure it out. So this opossum, right, was like, you know, like I said, it's like it was ass out in my yard, you know, and it's like, yeah. So I think that what it was, like, a bunch of cats was just staring at it, and opossums being opossuming, and he was just going to scream all night. Just
oh my gosh.
There. You know, because I even got worried thinking that, oh my God, what if he's caught on something, you know? And it's like, you know, because we had that happen with some raccoons, that they got caught on something in our yard, and we had to like figure out how to maneuver. We had some like wrought iron fence scraps, and they had gotten caught. Like, I guess they had gotten a foot caught, and we had to like move the scraps, and it was like a whole thing.
With a pissed off raccoon.
Yeah, pissed off raccoon.
Oh no.
So it's this. So I thought, oh my God, maybe it's the same thing with this opossum. And it's like, you know, because it's like, right, if I see that ass sticking out in my backyard in the morning, I'm gonna have to call wildlife control or something, because I ain't touching shit. You know. So, but luckily, no, it's all clear. It's all good. It was probably just more dramatic sounding than it actually was. You know. So yeah, so that so that's why I stay in my own corner. hissing at cats, hissing at the rest of indie comics, you know, and right, yeah, that was my night. So that's why we don't really talk about a lot of mainstream stuff on this show, because I really don't care. I don't really care that much.
That it is like some, yeah,
you know?
And we don't know what's important, because it's like something you think is important, nobody gives a shit about, and this stuff you're like, everybody's like freaking out over.
Right? Yeah, you know, it's like, really, it's like, yeah, it's just kind of like really strange. So in the end, it's like yeah, we just stick to like indie stuff, unless something unusual pops up, like Marvel and DC losing their trademark, and then everyone's like going, so it's like, I thought this was important. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else is going. I don't know. It's like so I don't know what's on your mind today, Nita. Obviously,
I've got a ton of catching up to do. Like, I'm also ticked because I made a freaking reel this morning, and Facebook decided that they didn't want me to share it, and so they pulled it, and so I had to remake the same reel real quick and just change the wording on it, and the same freaking thing ran, and nothing was in violation of TOS, nothing was anything spam. Yeah, I don't know. It's aggravating as shit. Right. So I'm waiting for an update from them to let me know they returned my shit.
Right. Oh, good. Right. Yeah. Because I think it's like you almost won your little tiff with Facebook, right?
I did.
Oh, you did. You did. Oh, it's official.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, I still have to wait to make sure that they hold up their end, and today by 3 p.m. I think I should know.
Right.
All my shit should be restored, and my monetization should be back.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So we'll see. Right, they got till 3. If not, I have an open case already.
Right,
so we'll have to do more legwork.
Right. Yeah. No, because it's like with OBS, they had to like, so like I've been having problems with StreamYard. Right. And where it knocked off all my cameras, and it's like I had to unplug everything for it to recognize one camera. And I remember sending a ticket to StreamYard going, hey, this is what's going on. You have any suggestions? And then they sent me just like their regular fact. Like that mentioned like, oh, what if
like
this
you couldn't look that up yourself?
Right. Like, and it mentioned everything else but my problem. Right. And then they had the nerve to send me a survey as to, how well did we solve your problem? Zero. StreamYard.
Zero. Flip the bird. I will. Yeah.
But it turned out that it might not be a StreamYard problem, because I can kind of sort of get everything to work in Firefox. But then my cameras were weird. Like 2 of my cameras wanted to only display in 1:1 aspect ratio. And then it's like it wasn't really working correctly. So then it's like I figured, well, maybe something is on my end. And then it's like I checked my Logitech cameras, and they were working fine on my computer. Then it's like I reset the permissions for StreamYard, and it kind of sort of started working again, but not quite. But like the big one though was that it wouldn't allow me to use virtual camera from OBS. And it's like, at least if I had OBS, I could bypass a lot of this, which is what I'm running this on now. I'm actually running this on OBS. And I had to uninstall OBS, reinstall OBS, redo everything. And then it seemed to work. And then StreamYard was able to see the virtual camera again. But this is as close as I could get to getting StreamYard to work. Like now I need OBS to use StreamYard properly, because I don't know what's going on with my cameras. I don't know like what is it, whether it's Firefox, whether it's Chrome, whether it's the browsers. I don't know. But at least it's working. So that's something. That's something. But I guess like kind of like um the topic at hand, because usually you just put in stuff to fill in
random.
Yeah, so it's like, but I don't know, I was talking to Jose the other day, as I want to do, and I don't know, the whole thing about selling on Kickstarter and everybody seeing a downturn and this kind of the other thing, like, we all don't know what's going on, really.
Right.
It's like, we don't know if there was an algorithm reset. We don't know if the economy really is having as big of an issue, is having as big of an impact as a lot of people are thinking. Right. And then it's like, there's just like the whole overall, like, thinking about, like, oh, how do I market this better, and this, that, and the other thing. Right. So the thing that I find funny, though, is that people will say all up and down that, oh, marketing's hard. I hate marketing. I hate social media, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, oh, I don't want to learn another thing. I want someone else to do that, right? But when shit comes to Shinola, they are so quick to throw all dignity out the window and just straight up beg people online to support their Kickstarters. Just outright beg.
And we see it all the time, though. But here's the deal. If you're trying to grow your audience, you're going to find yourself doing that every time to grow. Every time.
Well, you see, because the thing is,
I don't mean, because I understand that you there's this desperation for the sale, especially when it comes to crowdfunding and to reach the goal. But like, if that's how you're accumulating your audience, you can't expect them to turn out the next Kickstarter, because they're not backing you because they're interested in your product. They're backing you because
they feel like, sorry for you.
Oh, right.
I
which
mean,
it's like, I have done, but like, I don't return to those type of projects. So you're gonna find yourself that's the only way you're able to market, because you're not gonna grow organically by people just looking at your content and loving it, or seeing you, and then it's
right. I mean, because what I don't understand is that, like, because it's like, look, because it's derisively known as the pity fuck buy, right? That it's like, that it's like, you just make people feel sorry for you, and then they just throw a couple of dollars your way because of that. It's like, oh, I feel pity for you, and it's like, and I don't understand where it kind of became okay that it's like, that people will fight every other type of marketing but that one. Like, they'll do that, but it's like, but they won't learn how to sell their books, how to even talk about their books. But they'll have no problem sounding pathetic online to get that pity sale. And it's like, where did that come from?
I don't know. Somebody did it, got a few backers. People are like, oh, Liz, it worked for them.
Right.
Because a couple backers extra.
Right.
I don't know.
Because it's like, I don't know. It's like, because it's I just find that kind of, I don't know, like, so I don't know. I guess it's because I've been playing a little bit more with Gemini, because my quota got reset, right?
Oh no.
Right. So I don't know. Like, I'm still kind of determined to figure out, like, what I can use this shit for, and and I have it, for those of you, it's Gemini. It's Google Gemini. Gemini is their AI thing that I read that they had trained on scraped posts from Reddit. And it's like, I don't know if Reddit was the best foundation
And to build from.
To build an a like a something like that, because it's like I know that, because it's like I don't like using the term AI anymore, because I think that they purposefully want to like use it as an umbrella term for everything, when it's like I'm not talking about everything. I'm just talking about like this generative whatever it is that it's doing, right? And so 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 I'm kind of like, the thing I do have to admit though, I do like Gemini for like,
Thank you. Gemini can be your friend with benefits. Stop dating.
It's like, no, we're not dating. No, me and Gemini are not dating. I only go to it now when I need something. But I do like, I do like that I can ask questions about my files. And that's the thing. I only use it on my files. It's not like I'm pretending to like, write something in the style of Stephen King or something. I'm not doing that stupid shit. But it's like, it's like when I have like dozens of scripts and I'm trying to kind of like organize my thoughts as to the information within those scripts, I can ask Gemini. It's like, like summarize the story, including the first 8 issues, right, of Ego Raven. It's like, and it'll do that. It'll be fucked up, but at least it'll give me something to work with. So, or at least allegedly, I haven't really done anything with it yet, so it's like, it's just like, I mean, because what I liked was like I could ask, like, give me the personality traits of this character, positive and negative, and it'll do that. And again, even on my own work, you have to, you still have to massage actual information out of it, because like it's very quick to hallucinate. If you just so you got to pay attention. It's like, and at least it's my information, so I know when it's saying something wrong about something or about some characters. So like I said, it tends to disintegrate really quickly, the information, even if I'm just using it on my stuff. So it's not like, so like I said, I'm still just trying to figure out what to do with it in terms of marketing. It's like, how do I make it easier for me to talk about my book to people, to talk about my comic to people who have never heard of it, and it's like, and that's kind of like an important thing for me to try to figure out, because again, like I said, there's this argument that me and Jose keep having where we keep switching sides on. It's like, the story matters, the story doesn't matter. Sometimes we're almost like duck season, rabbit season. Story matters, story doesn't matter. Story matters, story doesn't matter. But the thing is, though, in the end, the story does matter. Right. No matter what, because it's like, if you want people to stay reading your book, they have to be engaged in your story. You having to come out whining on Facebook about, I don't know how, I don't know, the fact that your Kickstarter is not doing as well or something. I don't know. It's just
when it's happening to pretty much everyone.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's like everybody's having issues with their Kickstarter. So, the fact that this is becoming like kind of like a little redundant when people like over and over and over again are like, oh, my Kickstarter's not doing well, my Kickstarter's not doing well. And we were talking the other day about how do you train your audience, right? And it's like, and if you're going to complain every time how your Kickstarter is not doing well, what are you telling your audience?
Or especially those that have already backed you,
right?
With the you get all negative, like, it's kind of
but it's like, but even the people that don't know you, your Kickstarter's not doing well. Oh, there must be something wrong with your book. Right, because that's also a thought that comes up, right? It's like, well, it's like if you're, it's like, so why would you want to repeat something over and over again that makes that's actually a detriment to your campaign to say this, like, oh, my campaign's not doing well. My campaign's not doing well. It's funny. You say that on every campaign. So it's like, so maybe there's something wrong with your book or something, it's like, I don't know. It's like, so yeah.
I never got the negativity approach, like whether it's well, we're not doing well, or I've even seen them get on there and be like, everybody said y'all were going to support me and none of you came through, and then they'd have like, they'd be almost $5,000. What about those people? They obviously came through, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah. That what is it? It's like because I was watching a video about artist alleys again, because I started watching those again, like all these very youthful people in artist alleys. And they were talking about going to this convention called Anime Expo, which is the largest anime convention in the United States. And some of these artist alley people were talking about how when they said that they were going to do Anime Expo, that they were being like really, really hyped up. That's like, oh, it's like, this is going to be a big show for you, this, that, and the other thing. And you better bring some extra, it's like, bring all your inventory because you're going to sell out and blah, blah, blah. Right. And people followed the advice. The funny thing is that the show did exactly what they said it was going to do, what they were warned it was going to do, like it was going to be your best show. And everybody, and a lot of these people came out with kind of like the same reaction. Oh, yeah, I did really well, but it was kind of underwhelming. And it's like, what? What? Like they were actually disappointed. Yeah, because people really hyped it up, and it's like, yeah, I sold out, and everything that they said it was going to happen.
I sold out, and they're still not happy enough.
But it's like, I don't know. I felt really underwhelmed. And I'm like, well, what the heck is that? What is that, right? So the guy in the interview was saying that he almost had that same reaction until, it's like, and he goes, there really is something about comparison being the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Right. Where, because we're so busy comparing ourselves to other people. We always talk about don't count other people's money. Don't look at other people's campaigns like it should be yours.
Right.
And what happens is that it's like, look, I fell into this trap too, where it's like you do a really good campaign, but then you don't recognize it. Because you're so busy comparing it to something else that you kind of like don't pay attention as to how far along you came anyway. And it was just, I guess, like, so the whole thing with Anime Expo. Oh yeah, it went exactly the way I was told it would, but it was underwhelming. It's like, I don't feel like I accomplished anything. And it's just kind of weird because it's like, I wouldn't want to associate my book with anything negative. And I certainly wouldn't want to associate my book with like poor sales. It's like, oh, no one's buying my book. It's like, no, that's not true. People are buying my book. Are they buying to my expectation? Well, where did I get my expectation from? It's like, where did I, it's like, what am I comparing this to? That I
and then again, be careful, because that also makes people, you make the people who do support you feel fucking bad.
Right. Again. Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's like, so that's why it's like, I'm kind of like I'm poking around with Gemini again, that it's like, it's like there has to be something this shit does.
Quit with it.
That I could use. I mean, I've gotten some. I mean, it requires a lot of massaging, though. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to use anything that it gives me straight.
It requires too much massaging, because anything you get from it straight, you gotta edit the fuck out. And it's like, in the time it took me to get this into you, to give for you to regurgitate this, for me to have to re-regurgitate it, like I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it just feels like we're just better off just sitting here just thinking on my own and just coming up with something.
I'm fidgeting.
Right. You know, I don't know. It's like I just found that really strange. Um, because like I said, it's like, you know, it's like when you watch a couple of reels about war crimes, it's like,
Right.
oh, really? This is my
Oh,
issue. I'm
right.
complaining. I'm complaining about a Kickstarter. You know, I mean, it's like people are literally like, you know, entire schools are getting bombed and shit. But it's like, oh, but my
Right.
Kickstarter. I mean, it's kind.
Right.
I don't know. It's just kind of like it just put me in a weird mood. You
It,
know.
it it makes you check your privilege right now.
You know. Because right now, yeah. So right now, I'm working on Eager Raven issue 9, and I was the idea was just to ink it, right? Until I started playing around more with it's like, you know what, could I just color everything in Clip Studio and kind of like get it over with?
Yeah.
And yeah, I can actually. and
Nice.
and I'm having a much better time with the process than I thought I would. Um because it's like it's just really nice to be able to just work on a panel and color it in and see how the thumbnails. Oh, and Melissa says when you're so ingrained in comics like we are, it becomes easy to forget that we're doing something amazing. It's true. It feels
Right.
commonplace because everyone we know is also doing it. Yeah. You know, I mean, for me, AI chat options are just a fast version of my research on Google. Yeah, that's what I noticed too. That it's like if I were just I could just use
And
Gemini
still
as
so be
Google.
careful because
Oh,
it
that's
spits
true.
out the bullshit facts all the
Right.
time.
Because remember, Gemini got fed on Reddit on all the regular posts and the shit posts. So you don't know what that thing is. So yeah,
Don't forget
yeah.
it.
Don't forget to
it
yeah, still have to
the
check your
FDA recommends that we eat 2 small pebbles a day
You're right.
to maintain our gut health. It's like, what?
Now all of a sudden
It's perfectly acceptable for only 5 cockroaches to live in a yes, yes, yes. It is acceptable for 5 cockroaches to live in your penis at one point in time.
You
Or
see,
any
that's
given
what
point in time.
happens. That's what happens when you count spiders, George, in your research. He's an outlier who should have never been counted. But oh, you know what, there's something. Oh yeah, so it's like, yeah, so I'm coloring, so yeah, so I'm inking and coloring at the same time. And
Right.
what's really cool is that Clip Studio, I showed in my Wednesday show, they have like this thumbnail panel for all the pages, and as I'm coloring, it fills in the thumbnails. So it's very satisfying to see a page turn into color on the thumbnails. Oh, I kind of let me see if I can kind of show
It's
this.
alive moment.
Right. Let me see if it'll let me do this. No, that's the share screen. Entire screen. Yeah, so this is this is Eager Raven 9 that I'm working on, right?
Right.
So as you can see, so I'm in the process of coloring the panel here, but you know, like you see these, oh, it's not, why is it not working? Okay, you see these thumbnails here. So as I finish coloring a page, it fills in the thumbnails here. And I don't know, I just find this very satisfying. And it's like it makes me want to work more on coloring in Clip Studio just to see these pages fill in.
To see it born.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, it's just like kind of really funny. Just the way it does that. So yeah, so I haven't decided yet whether it's going to speed up my process. I know I've said this before about Clip Studio, and the answer is yes, it has speed up my process. Now I'm kind of wondering if in the color in this stage, how quickly I can get a completed book out. Because usually I would have to do the inking first, which would take me about a couple of weeks, and then I would do the coloring separately, which would also take me a couple of weeks. So it could probably take me about 2 months to ink and color a comic. But what if I'm doing it at the same time? What if I'm inking and coloring at the same time? So I'm still trying to gauge, like what my time frame is. Of course, I do have to. I do have to. Oh, it's like Lou says, I usually run my ideas through AI and ask it what it thinks about it. I did that too.
Oh my
I
God.
asked it. Yes, I ran some of my prose through. Nobody's doing comics here. It's very obscure behavior. Very obscure. I asked it to kind of like analyze my prose. It's like, oh, it's like, so how does this chapter sound? It's like, oh, it's really good. It says that it's like, oh, it's you have a very compelling story, blah blah blah, but you could improve in these areas. So, okay. So, but the thing is though, when I asked it what I could do to improve the story or improve the prose for this space, the advice it would give me was retarded. It was just like, no, okay, here, yeah, right. This is no good. Okay, that part is no good. It's kind of like the whole example of please describe. It's like it would sound better if you describe the forest more. And I go, I'm not going to waste more verbiage on describing a forest. Everybody knows what a fucking forest looks
What
like.
did you talk in that grass?
Right. Yeah, it really did. Like, oh, describe a hooting owl. It's like, no, I am not doing that, Gemini. I am not putting in the purple prose, Gemini. It's like, no, that is not improvement, Gemini.
Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning, Glenn. So yeah, so it was, yeah, so you got to be careful with that, too. It's like you can't take it at face value. So I guess in the end, it's like it just, we get so used to being in our own circle that we forget that actually what we do is not common. It's like you go outside and you ask, and it's like, it's kind of like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a cartoonist. Really? It's like, because, can you design my tattoo? No. Right? It's like,
well, why not?
It's like, oh, I have an idea for a children's book. It's, which is why I usually don't tell people that I'm an artist or anything. I usually just tell them I'm a graphic designer and leave it at that, because that confuses them enough. But yeah, it's like, yeah, so I don't know. I think that if people are kind of like delving into negativity to try to sell their book, I really do think it's because they've forgotten how special what they do is.
They're losing the love.
I mean, it's like, bro, what you do, it's like, I think like less than 1% of the population can do. It's like running a marathon, where, it's like people who've run a marathon, it's like 0.001% of the population. And I kind of wonder if comics are kind of like the same thing, where it's like, yeah, it's like we're surrounded by people. It's kind of like being like in grade school, you're the special kid, right? Like I was the special kid. Yeah, it's like, it's like I was the special kid in school because I was the only artist, right? And not that anybody in the school gave a shit. It's like, it's like if you ever wanted to be bullied for something, so so it's like so when I ended up at the High School of Art and Design, all of a sudden I wasn't special anymore, because now everybody around me could draw, as opposed to back in grade school, nobody could draw except me. I mean, the bullying was different in high school, though. The bullying was a little different. I mean, because in grade school, the bullying was like, oh, you can do something we can't do, and we think it's stupid anyway. Which is, it's kind of, it's stupid. It's kid stuff, but still, though, it's not like I still resent it to this day. But like in high school, it was kind of like different. So it's like now everybody was doing the same thing I was doing,
right.
Except now the bullying wasn't how well you could do it, if you could. you know? And it was just like, that was a whole different can of worms that got opened up. But the thing is, though, the whole point is that like now what was considered special in grade school is now not special anymore because, oh, you're surrounded by everybody who can do that, you know? And it's like, and you forget when you go outside that it's like most people don't know how to do this. And
everybody here is all connected, so we all start taking it for granted. Oh, that's what everybody does.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just rambling today because like I said, it's like watching those videos kind of put me in a weird mood. And like on one hand, you know, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, what we do is special. Why would you want to associate it with negativity? You know, to sell it, you know? I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, we're selling a very weird luxury good, you know? So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just, you know what I forgot to do? You know what I forgot to do these past couple of shows? I forgot to show you some new books that I got.
Oh, good.
I don't know if I showed anybody. I don't know if I showed these, but Jose had seen some retailer out in Utah or something. Like he was doing a warehouse sale. And he was literally selling all these hardcovers for like $5 or $10 or so. I think it was paperbacks, trade paperbacks for $5 and hardcovers for $10, right? So Jose says, yeah, I spent $200. I spent $200 on books from that guy, right? But some of the things that he spent his money on that he promptly gave to me was these prints. Nice. Yeah, we got the first 4 of the Hal Foster Prince Valiants. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at absolutely gorgeous. We got the first 4 issue, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I bought volume 1 on eBay just to kind of like even out the numbers because you know I can't stand just seeing.
No, it's the OCD.
Yeah, so he got. Oh my God. He got, look at this. Just absolutely gorgeous stuff. I would love to do like maybe like a Tall Tales or an Eagle Raven short in this style where it's kind of like, yeah, it's a comic format, but it's more like it's an illustrated story rather than a comic. Right. Because like everything, I don't think I ever remember seeing dialogue in this. It's just all, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just, I could have used this. I could have had this already. What the heck? Look at how beautiful that is. So I have like 5 of these, and it's just like, it's nice. Like, it's the type of thing that it's like, you just don't grow tired of looking at, right? And then like Jose also got me this too. I was thinking of getting this, but I didn't want to spend the $30 on it at the time, but Jose got it to me for me anyway. So this is Donald and Mickey comics, right? This is Italian. This is from Italy, right? These are reprints from Italian Walt Disney comics, where they did a Disney version of Metropolis and a Disney version of Faust.
Oh my God.
So the Italians are absolutely like, so this is what the Metropolis version of this looks like. Now, I have to double check because I have a whole bunch of mini Disney comics from, I think, I'm pretty sure they're all the same artists too. Dark Horse had reprinted, like they did a Disney Dracula where Clarabelle Cow is Lucy. Oh, it's hysterical. I have Frankenstein, Treasure Island, but if you look up the artists that work on these Italian Disney comics, They're also known for working on Dylan Dog. Jose was reading Dylan Dog yesterday, and I go, oh, I have to read my Italian Disney comics because it's usually the same artist, right? The same artists. So yeah, so this is Disney Metropolis, right? Disney Metropolis, you know, and then you have Donald doing. They have Donald doing Faust. So this one, what's really funny, this story really took me back because these are the Disney comics that I used to read when I was in Spain. So this is literally the comics that would be in so this is Donald as Faust. Well, in Faust. The story, let's see, when did this was printed? So let's see. The original story of the tragedy of Faust was 1790, but when was the comic? I saw this somewhere. The copyright on this. Okay, the stories in this volume were originally published in Italy. Metropolis in Topolino, 3,189. January 4th, 2017. Dr. Donaldus Faust in Topolino, issue 188 and 189, 1958.
Wow.
1958. And I was reading reprints, obviously reprints of these in books. I gotta bring those books down. I have a couple of the Spanish Disney books that look exactly like this. So that was that's pretty funny. So he got me this one, right? From Kickstarter, I forgot to show these off. So because it's impossible to look to find anything worthwhile on Google, doing Google searches anymore, I've gotten back to buying people's sketchbooks again. Nice. So this sketchbook is from what is it? Martin Abel? Yeah, Martin J. Abel. He's an Australian artist. And
wow.
Yeah, I got these off of Kickstarter, and these are just like his sketchbooks. They're just printing from his sketchbooks. And it's just really, really nice looking stuff. And what was cool was I have them put away though, that he had look at this. He has a little seal of approval and everything, a little certified seal on that. And I got the first sketchbook that he did as well. Just absolutely. I love this cartoon. I love cartoony style. I really do. I will always lean towards a cartoony style than an ultra realistic style. That's why I'm always going to be a bigger fan of Arthur Adams than I am of Jim Lee.
Right.
So so these I got off of Kickstarter. I don't know if you can still get them, maybe directly from him, but so I got these, right? And then when we went to Midtown Comics, right? So this one's pretty nostalgic for me, but for different reasons.
Melissa wants to know who is the artist on this sketchbooks.
Martin J. Abel. Martin J. Abel.
All right.
Yeah. So so when we went to the outlet, the Midtown outlet, which is nearby here, right? So I was able to pick up a copy of Hiroshige Doji, the manga, right? Which I'm not going to open. I'm not going to open on the air. And this one, it was definitely more for nostalgia factor because I didn't know that this was the same creator who did La Blue Girl and Demon Beast Invasion. And if things hadn't have gone the way they went, we would have been working on an original version of Hiroshige Doji too. But that didn't happen. We just ended up working on La Blue Girl and Demon Beast Invasion, and then we went on to do Jesus Christ. Let me see if I can find a page here that doesn't have anything questionable in it. So, okay, here's some of the pages.
Not questionable.
Not questionable, right? Not questionable. The dialogue is very strange. I don't know. I know they made a lot of weird translation decisions in this. And the funny thing is too is that for a hentai comic, it's really not that sexy. It really isn't. It's not. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you're into, I guess. But it's but it's interesting. I have it for the interesting factor, right? But the funniest thing that I saw that I got there, what's funny is that this might seem like a little odd, but Jose showed me these, and I know I've seen Randy talk about these books as well.
Oh, which one?
So I got this. So this is a pocket. What is it? It's like a pocket book or something. It's $1.95. Look, if I were to take what's my latest manga one? I was showing this on Wednesday, right? So here's like a standard manga size, right? And then you have that, right? So it's not like it's not like mainstream comics hasn't done this format before, right? So this is, let's see, what is it? Collected together for the first time, the first 18 original Doctor Strange sagas by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. And it's all just the comics, right? Shrunk down. I found it interesting that they spaced it out like that. I would have thought this would look like it was in proportion, so they wouldn't have had to done that.
Right.
But holy shit, do you need glasses to read this?
Oh, I bet.
Right?
I bet.
It's like, so it's all, all these Doctor Strange in this format. Yeah, it looks like a paperback book, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, that right. It could be, yeah. And it's like, so whenever like there's always this discussion about, oh, why does manga outsell and blah blah blah, right? And it's like, and Randy would always talk about, well, part of the problem is that, we, maybe it's the fact that we don't have all these different formats that right. can appeal to different markets. It's like, yeah, so this is more like a novel, like a paperback book, right. So it's like, so if you have, so my theory, right, because I was talking about this on Wednesday, right, because I still have this theory, right, that is it the format that's keeping manga readers from reading more mainstream stuff. Now, mind you, I'm not expecting them to read Steve Ditko. I'm not expecting them to do that. But like, if we went, I guess you could put it back now on the low, because now it's like if we were to like print at a smaller size like this. I mean, we've done Tall Tales in digest size, and we've done the Oswald Chronicles in digest size too. So it's like, would manga readers buy more mainstream or indie comics if they were in a format that was more familiar than if we tried to get them to like, oh, they won't buy a regular issue comic, especially, like I said, like this is $1.95, right? I bought it for $5. $5, right? So imagine, like we print this. So this retails for $12.99. Right? I think it's about like 150 pages.
Right.
So it's like, so do you think, that like, so would like manga readers pick this up if it was one, a smaller size that was more familiar to them, and 2, just a lower price point. You know, so when I saw this, I had to get it. You know, because
it needs to be done for the science,
right? You know, it's like, you know, this is kind of like what I'm talking about. It's like, you know, it's like, so instead of like also.
Right. And
let's
this
say,
is another issue.
As a manga reader, I like things where I know how to get into it. I'll read an indie comic with a clear jumping point.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's, you know what? I kind of wonder how, like, I know that I've seen, you know, the memes. It's like, oh, where do you start? Oh, I want to read One Piece. Where do you start? Volume 1. Right? Oh, I want to read Spider-Man. Where do I start? Oh, well, let's get the chart
17,
out.
4,
right?
5, 11, 12.
Right. You know what I learned the other day? You know what I learned the other day? Is that in the European market, that's exactly how they sell Marvel comics. They take like Spider-Man, you can buy a volume 1. They have them in volumes. And then it's like they have charts to show you. It's like, okay, then it's like they do like major storylines in volumes that are easy to jump into. They don't do that here. You know, so it's not like they can't do it. It's just that for some bizarre reason, they won't do that here. You know, and then they want to complain, you know, why, oh, the manga readers, they're not interested in mainstream comics. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? You know, and it's like, you know, so it's like that's always, yeah. So that's something that I definitely want to try is, you know, or go back to. You know, that's if I can get back into anime conventions, you know, because the fucking lotteries, they make it like you have to jump through hoops to get into the conventions. That it's like if we were to go back to doing digest size, you know, even if we were to do them in black and white, you know, what if, you know, it's like, is this, you know, would this be the hurdle? You know, is this part of the hurdle, the size, the price? You know, I don't know. But I mean, obviously, you know, Marvel had no problem doing that back in the day, you know, adjusting their comics for different markets. This is obviously for people who collect pulp novels or something. And then it fits on their shelf with their other pulp novels.
I want to go back and do some exploration and see why they might have dropped that.
You know?
Maybe it wasn't making enough on the market, or they didn't feel they were making enough.
I don't know. Well, Randy would know that. You know, it's like, yeah, he would be the one to ask. It's like, why did they stop doing this?
Yeah, right.
You know, but I don't know. So yeah, so I thought that in the end that was pretty interesting. I mean, and what's ironic though is that, you know, here you have Erosuke Doji, which is larger than a manga size. I think this is almost like probably like around 6x9, maybe around, without pulling out a ruler and actually measuring it, right? So, you know, I don't know.
Nice.
I guess it's just something to think that had me thinking about it, you know. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little all over the place today, so.
Like you do.
Yeah, like I do. Yeah, so it's just Friday. It's Friday. I think we can allow ourselves that, right? So I don't know. So you have any other thoughts too? I think I'm a little too random today.
Yeah, I would be too random too. I'm just trying to keep one train of thought. I'm sitting here like repeating the same 4 words over and over in my head to cue me to what I need to do when I get off of here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, we're both kind of like, I kind of like in this like gotta get to work kind of mood. So so yeah, so I'm sorry if this wasn't what anyone was expecting, because it usually wasn't what we expect either. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's Friday.
You never know what to expect.
Right. It's like, go do whatever you want. go write your
go touch grass.
Yeah.
Go write your novels, write your comic, draw your comic, touch the grass, go do something.
Right, exactly. Go do something and find joy in it. You know, in in your cocky superhero Omegaverse fanfic or whatever. Oh my goodness. So thank you everybody in the chat for tolerating us today. Thank you so much to all our beautiful eyeball people who especially were tolerating us today. I mean, it's like you guys are probably listening to us in the background and it's like, what are they on? And if you're catching us on the replay and wondering what the heck this is, it's like, welcome, and we're sorry.
And we're sorry.
And we're sorry. Oh my goodness. Even you see, that's why we say we mostly talk about indie comics. Not all the time, but 95% of the time. The other 5% is God knows what.
It's random.
It's random. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Exactly. The freaking opossum in the backyard. Oh my goodness. So that's it for us today. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. And any announcements or anything on
Please
your
be
end?
sure to check out any Kickstarters or whatever mentioned in the show notes. I'll be adding to those later because there are a couple that I left out that were requested. So I'm going to throw those in there. And yeah, that's about it.
Right. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other stuff and my upcoming campaigns and all that, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember that you can catch me on YouTube for 600 plus videos of live streams, draw streams, tutorials, speed paints, the whole nine on how I make my comics. And you can join me on my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 hours of me just drawing and talking to the chat. It's kind of like being at a convention, but you don't have to worry about whether you're blocking my table or not. Fun times. And remember, you can also read Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday, and also updating every Tuesday on Webtoons. We're just finishing up the first issue on Webtoons. So everything's starting from the beginning. So you can catch Ego Raven on Webtoons every Tuesday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you could also catch up on the latest story arc, Tears the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday and is also updating on Webtoons as well. Ego Ravens on Tuesdays, Tall Tales on Thursdays. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will see you again on Monday for another hot mess of whatever this show is. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.